Join us today to learn how Jay is expanding its impact to thousands of young people right here in Central Maryland. During today's conversation, we'll cover how Jay is increasing program outreach to provide economic opportunity and access to the communities we serve around the Baltimore region. You'll hear from Tom Sadowski, Vice Chancellor of Economic Development from the University System of Maryland, Junior Achievement Board Chair, as well as Janae Ford, Vice President of Education at Junior Achievement. We also are so excited to have the exceptional Jay student entrepreneur, Jayshree Srinivasan, join the conversation today. She'll be sharing her journey as an entrepreneur in the Jay Rising Women program and how her team has made an impact in the community during this pandemic. Just a few reminders, please place yourself on mute, turn your camera off, and feel free to use the chat box feature for questions you may have. At the end of the conversation, we'll hold a Q&A. With the uncertainty surrounding us, we wanted to take a moment to share with you a brief video of how Jay is bringing relevancy in integrating business, lifting competencies, and providing access to youth in all communities that we serve.
The world is full of lines. There are lines that are helpful, convenient, and even necessary. But then there are those lines that people can't or won't see. They are the lines that divide. These lines are based on color, on gender, on belief, on language, and even on love. These lines may be drawn on purpose or unintentionally and without much regard. Sometimes these lines have been there for generations, apparent to those they seek to separate, and invisible to others. But just because not everyone sees these lines doesn't mean they don't exist. At Junior Achievement, we see them, and we know things need to change. That's why we are empowering the next generation with lessons in how money works, how education leads to career success, and how to start and run a business. We are committed to giving young people the knowledge and support necessary to erase these lines and bridge gaps, overcome barriers, and break through ceilings. We are doing this so that today's kids can live in a more equitable and just tomorrow. But we can't do it alone.
So at JA, over the last 8 months, JA has transitioned its core programming at the elementary, middle, and high school levels to an online.
Get ready for a glimpse of the future, because it's almost time to enter JA Finance.
Excuse me. So again, over the last 8 months, JA has transitioned its core programming at the elementary, middle, and high school levels to an online format. This year, we'll reach over 30,000 students in the region. We also have been working with many partners to bring relevancy into the classroom through an increased use of virtual volunteer opportunities, live and pre-recorded. This additional use of JA volunteers allows JA to continue to bring to life personal money management, work readiness, and entrepreneurial concepts. Virtual volunteer experiences include being a virtual coach in JA's Shark Tank, or its new 3DE high school business case challenge model, to sharing what it's like to work in some of Maryland's most high demand careers through our guest speaker experiences. The virtual learning environment has also provided JA an opportunity to expand access to communities that may not have been able to travel to our site-based programs like JA BizTown, our simulated city space, or JA Inspire, our mega career exploration experience. But it's important to note, because of the support of partners like you, we are still in classrooms throughout Central Maryland and need your continued support to ensure every student possible to be able to access programming. While we have modified our programs to meet student, educator, partner, and family needs, we have also been actively building the new 30,000 square foot JA Regional Youth Workforce and Innovation Center located in Baltimore, right off 695 and 95 near UMBC. In this real world environment, elementary, middle, high school students will experience Jay's proven capstone programming as they try on Maryland's most in-demand career opportunities, practice the skills needed to be competitive in the workplace, learn financial responsibility, and start businesses. The space will also provide multi-use opportunities to support additional community programming and bring business and education leaders together, creating a bridge between K-12, post-secondary, and adult talent development initiatives. From the moment the doors open, the facility will serve 30,000 students annually, as well as thousands of parents and community volunteers, educators, business leaders. This facility concept is a proven JA model in more than 20 locations in the US and 3 international sites. The new center will be ready to see students in early 2021 in accordance to safety and health protocols. Now I'd like to turn it over to Vice Chancellor of Economic Development for the University System of Maryland and Junior Achievement Central Maryland's Board Chair, Tom Sadowski.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. As many of you know, I am so proud of the work that Junior Achievement is doing to expand access and economic opportunity by meeting our young people, educators, and families where they are in a time of uncertainty and change. Remember that number, 30,000, even in these trying times. So we're really having an impact. However, we can't do it alone. It takes both the public and private sectors coming together to lend their support and provide students with the access they require. We are thankful to many of you for your continued support and to those of you who have gone above and beyond to help us expand our programs for students, as well as helping us open this new facility, our JA Regional Youth and Workforce Innovation Center. It's not just industry and businesses that have answered the call, however. Our state partners have too helped us to expand access to programs like JA Inspire, which will help fill the gap for young people to explore the various high demand career and educational opportunities in Maryland as they prepare to enter high school and leave the K-12 system. I'm excited that the University System of Maryland has committed again this year to help this wonderful program and support it alongside with the Maryland Department of Commerce and the Maryland Department of Labor. For those of you on the call that are longtime JA partners, thank you. Thank you very, very much. I encourage those of you who may be new or looking to expand your work in the community to reach out to either myself or anyone on the JA team to find out how you can be part of the many JA initiatives that are happening to expand economic opportunity to communities that need it most, especially right now. In these trying times, we found ways to pivot and really offer programs of significant value to kids and their families. So inquire, ask a few questions, reach out to us, let us know how we can help you. So now please, if you will, welcome JA's Vice President of Education, Janae Ford. Janae, take it away.
Thank you so much, Tom, and thank you everybody for joining our town hall this afternoon. JA has been working extremely hard to meet the needs of our education partners to provide relevant, hands-on, engaging experiences in our current learning environment. And those of you who have school-age children certainly know that this online environment has created challenges as well as opportunities. So I apologize in advance if someone busts through the door, while that is a challenge for me. But more importantly, JA is really having an opportune moment to expand, as Jennifer said. We've been able to expand our reach to communities that typically would not have access to our JA programs. As she mentioned earlier, we have modified and expanded all of our programs in every grade level. again, we should see 30,000 students this year in a virtual learning environment with JA's proven programs that build critical life skills and continue to share experiences with students and help them explore career opportunities. Again, what we want to do here at JA is ultimately provide them with access to economic success for themselves and for their families. And one of the ways that we're doing that this year is through a high school model called 3DE. And I am very pleased that I'm the one that has the joy to share with you that we've launched 3DE at Frederick Douglass High School in Baltimore City. 3DE is a model that truly does transform a high school classroom, and it brings relevance, it brings building competencies for students, business integration, and it really does allow for access, economic access for these students, for hundreds of students, because we know that this cross-curricular approach is one that is tried and true. And Frederick Douglass is our first school here in Baltimore City to become a 3DE school. So we're very excited about this opportunity. And even though these are trying times, as everyone has said, we are moving forward with JA Inspire. Although not in person at the fairgrounds, I know many of you are aware of our 2-day event, but this year we're going virtual. Everybody else is doing things virtual, and so are we. And we are continuing our partnership with Baltimore County Public Schools. And we've even expanded access to Baltimore City and to Howard County and the surrounding school communities. If you don't know about JA Inspire, it is the ultimate experience that allows students to really have career exploration opportunities. While in the past, they would be able to walk around and have conversations with our booth sponsors, but now they are going to learn about these jobs in our community and these in-demand jobs in Maryland through a virtual experience. And so they will be able to have live webinars that are career specific. They'll be able to chat with future employers and really be able to go into webinars that are very focused on a particular career. This is really a pivotal time for middle schoolers, as I have one, because they are transitioning to high school. And this really does support them in making those decisions in not only high schools that they want to select and go to, but what coursework they need to take. It's a pivotal time for our high schoolers because they are now thinking about post-secondary education and what they really want to do now in their lives. So we are pleased to share that JA Inspire will continue with an expanded outreach this year. So as we all have been saying, and I said I don't want to say this word anymore, but trying times, they have been trying times, but over the last 8 months, we have watched our teams navigate entrepreneurship, from ideating, creating, and launching their own businesses during this time. It's amazing that they have this resilience and they do rise to the occasion. And today this is my second thrill for today because I get to tell you about 3D and now I get to introduce you to the CEO of Kits & Co., Jayshree Srinivasan. And she is the CEO who has led her company through this pandemic with a thriving PPE business, all while giving back to other organizations that needed support. So I am pleased to now throw this over to you, Jayshree. Please welcome her.
So thank you, Ms. Ford, for that introduction. And thank you so much to Junior Achievement for inviting me to share my experience today. Really excited, and it means a lot that as a high school student, you guys have given me this opportunity. So this past spring, as a junior in high school, I heard about JA Rising Women Spring Cohort from a friend. And since my freshman year, I've been really involved in my school's Future Business Leaders of America program. And we compete regionally, statewide, and nationally. But all the projects that we did were pretty much hypothetical. So that was creating a mock business plan or a website based on certain guidelines that they would give us. So when I heard about the opportunity to spearhead an actual business that impacts your community in a meaningful way with JA Rising Woman, it was a really exciting possibility. But I think I subconsciously thought it would be structured the same way as the FBLA type program. I figured that our mentor would steer the course of our actions, we would follow along, and ultimately attain the end goal of realizing our passion project. Now, I quickly came to realize that this wasn't exactly the case when I walked into the first Rising Woman session. So our mentor, Miss Diana Emerson, left all of the control to us from the beginning, starting with the brainstorming of what we wanted that passion project to really be. During that first session, I recognized that my peers were essentially translating their experiences and problems to business solutions. For example, Leslie, who was a 3-season athlete, suffered from frequent injuries, and she wanted to design sports wraps of different designs that were really vibrant because she was tired of the boring grays and blacks that she was always wearing when she was injured. And she wanted to wear something that would actually bring her spirits up and something that her friends could look at and make it more fun. So because of that open and independent environment of collaborative discussion that JA and Miss Diana gave us, we all learned how to embrace perspectives other than our own. And I'm sure that all of us can agree that this is a skill essential to succeeding in today's professional workspaces. I will also add that there was a distinctive power to the fact that we all had such valuable perspectives as young women. It definitely emboldened us not to be afraid to venture into careers in the future that might be male-dominated spaces. So as we debated between multiple promising ideas for our business, the COVID-19 pandemic struck, and we were thrown into these trying times, as the many before me have euphemistically put it. But JA really stepped up to that challenge rather than canceling the program altogether. And I can say a lot of the other student programs that I was in, that's exactly what they did. But JA adapted the Rising Women program to an online space. And when we saw that, as a team, we thought, if JA can adapt, then why can't we? So we took a lot of the ideas that we had before, and we looked at the pandemic before us, and we thought, it would be kind of foolish to ignore the problem that's facing our communities today. So how about we adapt our business idea to the problem that's facing us? So that's how we came up with the idea of distributing kits containing PPE to our community and cycling those profits back to the Howard County General Hospital and NAACP to support healthcare workers and advance social justice efforts. This cause in general was really important to us because we saw that there were severe shortages of PPE and we wanted to help, and we're excited by the fact that we could help in 2 ways at once, help our community and then also help causes that needed to be amplified. And so, next slide, please. Kits and Company was born. But right off the bat, we faced difficulties because it took us until late June to get our product ready for launch. And as you all know, by that time, these essentials that I'm talking about, like masks and gloves, were readily available on the market on Amazon. So not as many people had a need to order from us. And again, just like we adapted our business, we saw the value of adapting and really facing that change head on. And we were able to do so because Miss Diana, our mentor, gave us some really valuable advice. She said, why not forge partnerships to magnify your impact and really make it local rather than branching out and looking to do nationally and do big things. So as per her advice, we partnered with a group of students, alumni from my high school actually, who are organizing a donation drive for a local homeless shelter. And our community really came together, our school community, to sponsor kits that we could give away because it wasn't within our bandwidth to just hand off kits for free. So we needed our community to donate funds to us so that we were able to give the kits to the donation drive. I just recall DMing so many students from my school on Instagram and texting all these parents in my school community, explaining what my business was and what we hoped to do. And I could not believe that within 24 hours, we were able to raise over $200 with everyone's generous contributions. And because of that, we were able to give away 15 of our kits to this drive. We were also able to, in total, raise $1,000 in profits, and now we're looking at processing those donations to Howard County General Hospital and the NAACP. So at this point in time, the JA Rising Women program is over, but that hasn't stopped us from continuing our business. We're looking at how we can continue the cause that we started and keep distributing kits to different populations in need, like homeless populations and senior centers, but also looking at how can we broaden our cause? So beyond physical health, I know that all of us can agree that we've been impacted in way of our mental health, because isolation does really take a toll on you after a few months. So we're looking at what kind of contents can we put in our kits to distribute to our general community so we can meet their mental health needs and be a positive spirit of uplifting them when they're feeling a little down. And being able to participate in a program like JA Rising Women has been truly life-changing. And I say that not to be cliche, but I say that to be true, because not many programs will give you this level of independence and also meet the challenge of a pandemic head on. And it was available to me at no cost, again, very rare, and has made me and my peers a more confident young woman, has taught us the value of collaboration, recognizing each other's perspectives, and just generally adapting to change. None of this would have been possible without the generosity of partners like you. If you are able to, I really encourage you to get involved by making a gift to JA or just donating your time and talent as a volunteer. These are important needs of JA to continue to operate and to expand its mission to more young people like me who are really ready to navigate their future success. Thank you so much.
Myself. Jayshree, thank you very much. This is what I love about JA. And how can you not be inspired and have this sense of hope for the future with the story that Jayshree just shared with us? I mean, these are part of the programs that we offer typically. And even in this COVID environment, we were able to pivot and still meet the needs. I mean, this is what JA does so well for more kids than any other organization in our state. We work with young people like Jayshree and her friends, her colleagues. We work with our best and brightest, and we make them even better. And we make the future that much more attainable for them. So this is really what makes me love JA so much and encourage all of you to get involved. Whether you're a current JA partner or new to JA, I hope you're going to reach out to us after some of what you've heard today and learn more about the programs and the offerings that we have for our young people. We're really making a difference. As I said, no other organization serves so many kids and does so much for them than Junior Achievement of Central Maryland. So as we move forward, we continue to need the support of the community and partners such as you, your time, your talent, and we treasure the critical work that you do each and every day in your business lives. But we want to make sure that we're incorporating that in the daily lives of our kids as well. So as we move into a post-COVID environment, I want to encourage all of you to think about how you would like to engage with us at Junior Achievement and what maybe you need in your organizations. Jennifer and the team have great ways of helping with team building exercises and those types of things. So think in those terms as well, where we're a partner, not just in the success of these young people, but in the success of you and your companies as well. Your support of our students will make the difference of a lifetime for these kids and for our community. So thank you again very much for your time and attention today. So back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Jonae, Jayshree, for sharing today. Thank you for so many of our partners joining to listen, to hear what's happening out there and what's been going on in our classrooms, in our virtual classrooms these days. As we continue to expand programming and provide opportunities to students across Central Maryland, we ask you to continue to work with us, to partner with us, volunteer, as well as make a gift to JA to support students like Jayshree and our students across the region. Here are 3 easy ways to support. Donate today to directly support a student You could choose one of our as the top charities for Giving Tuesday on December 1st, if that's of interest to you. And then make Junior Achievement your charity of choice, and support through Amazon Smile. We're getting ready for that holiday shopping season. So it's an easy way as you're shopping to identify Junior Achievement of Central Maryland as that charity of choice. Either way, your gift, your time will directly impact our students with opportunities today that will inspire their tomorrows. We do want to open it up. So many of our partners, friends are here with us today. We would love to open it up for Q&A and just a time to chat about what's going on. So Katie, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, everyone. I know I just want to ask Jayshree, I've heard that there might be a rebranding. Can you share maybe some here on the call, like what you guys are thinking about calling your new company as you expand beyond JA?
Yeah, of course. So the good thing about the name Kids and Company is it is really versatile. It just can be applied to so much beyond just the PPE. It just depends what you're putting in the kits. So I think we're actually going to keep the name Kids and Company, but just look at altering the content of our kits, like I was talking about earlier, and beyond just having the PPE, having coloring books or having these little things that can just divert your attention in different ways so that you're not always at your screen stressing out. So that's the goal, and hopefully we can partner like with other community organizations like we did this time and really amplify our impact.
That's awesome, Jayshree. We love hearing that. We have another question. I'm going to pose this one to Jonay. What feedback have you received about the virtual programming that JA has really started since March?
We've received some really great feedback that, especially from teachers, that they are excited to know that our programs just didn't go away, that we are still there. And what we were committed to in the very beginning, what we've done over years and years of time, it's still there. It's just in a different setting. And if you think about BizTown, everybody enjoyed coming to our facility. It was the highlight for everybody's 5th grade year. And unfortunately, students aren't able to go to BizTown this year. But when they come next year, they'll get a bigger and better BizTown. But they can now go on and do BizTown Adventures, a different format, but you still learn to be a CEO like Jayshree. You get to become a consumer, you get to buy goods and services. And the way we arrange this platform is they also get to hear from different companies and hear from real people in those roles. So we're getting a lot of positive feedback from our educators. Finance Park was always for us in a virtual setting, so that has continued. And company program, again, listening to Jayshree, has thrived during this time. So we're getting really positive feedback about our programming in this expanded, modified model.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jonay. Is there a need for mentors or teachers in the Baltimore City environment? Jonay, you want to take that one as well?
There is always a need for volunteers in every region. And now that we have 3DE on board that launched this fall, we really do need support there. This is uncharted territory for this school, for our region. So the more support we have and mentors that want to be involved at Frederick Douglass High School, the better. We just have that need in general because we still have students that are doing BizTown that need virtual volunteers. So yes, yes, and yes, volunteers in all of our regions.
Fantastic. Jerry, you can contact anybody at JA if you have Jennifer, Jonay, or you can do info@jamaryland.org and we will get you to the right place to get started to volunteer. Thank you. Speakers, is there anything else you'd like to add as it looks like we do not have any other questions? Anything to follow up with? Can you talk a little more about the format model for 3DE? Jennifer, you want to take it away there?
Sure. 3DE is meant to be a high school transformational model. Its underpinning is the case study methodology. And so really working hand in hand with educators and with students and the business community, really taking students as they're going through all of their core courses, whether it's language arts or math, science, taking a case study approach with those cross-curricular subjects. And so every 6 weeks, the students are working through a new case challenge underneath those subject models. In addition, they're looking to how they would solve that case challenge and that business challenge in cohorts of students. So you look at some of the competencies that are being built: team building, public speaking, really thinking about what problem solving looks like, research, and then they're doing that on the auspice of, as they're learning core content standards that they need to move towards graduation at the same time. So it's really about bringing that relevancy into the classroom, integrating the business concepts. And what we're seeing occur at Frederick Douglass is kids leaning in. It's real world, it's timely, it's current. They're engaging in the conversations. They're really putting forward some of the things that they're able to learn through the case challenge perspective. They're able to explore various careers through those case challenges as well, and looking at the economic opportunities those would provide too. And so we're fortunate in that we have two amazing JA 3DE professionals right there with the Frederick Douglass team. And they're really working on twofold. One, with our teachers, helping them transform how they use a case study methodology in the classroom and what that looks like. And then on the other side, working in the community and the community partners with the students and coaching them through the development of really how they're going to present their outcomes from their case challenges every 6 weeks. And so it is this collaborative effort, not only from the teacher, student, family perspective and the schoolhouse perspective, but we're really excited. Obviously, launching in a virtual environment was not our intent, but it has worked really well in that kids are coming in, that they are engaging and being part of the process. So we're really excited about its launch. And absolutely, as Joni mentioned, volunteers are really critical to this component, helping to coach students through the case challenges as they're thinking about putting their presentations together. What does it look like? And really helping them through that is a great need as well.
Jen, if
Tom,
I could,
anything? Yeah, please.
if I could add on, what's key about the 3DE model, and it's one that was really built and perfected down in Atlanta, is it does what JA does across the board for its students or for its kids. It engages them. And this case study methodology is a way to give them a real world application for what they're being taught or what they're learning, quite frankly. And there's a residual benefit to all of what Jennifer's already laid out. The more the students are engaged, what we found in Atlanta and some of the other sites that have adopted this model is that literacy rates are significantly improved. Math, STEM, related disciplines, and I guess adoption of those methods are even higher, even greater, because the students are more engaged. They're more interested in the material. They see its application in the real world. So this 3D model, I mean, it's a whole new way of teaching. And it's really what I think you members of the business community have been calling for a very, very long time, is give this a real world perspective. Give us an opportunity to help influence the curriculum. So that's what the 3DE model does. It engages the students more. And because they're more engaged, they learn more. And their literacy rates go through the roof. I mean, it's just amazing the kind of the results that we've been having in other cities as a result of implementing this 3DE model. And again, 3DE is just an example of all the great things that Junior Achievement does. This new center in Lansdowne is all about providing that real world experience for the kids, taking on the role of a CEO or a general manager or a store manager, of an employer, having a budget, having a real life scenario that you need to plan for and budget for. I mean, this gives our next generation all the tools they need, not just to succeed, but to excel. And so that's really why I believe so deeply in what JA does, because I have 5 kids myself and I need help. And they provide the kind of programming that offers it. And I know they're in good hands and they got my back. So.
Thank you, Jennifer and Tom. We appreciate that. We have a question about JA Inspire. Can you tell us more about who's involved with that and really what we are planning to see as an impact of how many students through that program?
Certainly. So I will start it off. I have to say, this is one of my favorite programs, and it's our largest one-day event and now 2-day event. So we are working with local companies in the Maryland area to support. We have over 50 different companies that are involved and committed. Could you give me both parts of that, Katie? Again, the question.
No problem. Can you speak to what districts are involved and how many students we will see this year?
Certainly. So we partnered over the past few years with Baltimore County Public Schools, and they are still offering Inspire to every single 8th grader in the Baltimore County school system. So I applaud the district for continuing on in this massive way that we've done previously. We are also working with Baltimore City Public Schools. They are on board this year, so we're excited to have them. And we've also partnered with Howard County Public Schools. So we'll have partnerships with all of those school districts, but it's also open to other school systems. I hate to say there's a benefit from COVID and being in a pandemic, but this is not something that we would have been able to do last year. One, students having to travel to the fairgrounds for this experience is not as easy as it may seem. It takes a lot of logistical maneuvering to get everybody in and get everybody out. And then we think about capacity. How many days can we run Inspire to ensure that so many districts get a chance to participate? So this year, again, the positive of COVID is that more districts can support and be a part of this exciting, innovative career exploration opportunity. We know Baltimore County will give us over 8,000 students. We know that Howard County will give us maybe over 2,000 students on board. And interestingly enough, Baltimore City is so excited about it that they are offering this opportunity to not just one grade, but for 6th grade through high school. That's how important it is for them this year, for their students to have access to this opportunity, because they do see the advantage. And if they can attend and it's no cost to them, why not? This is like the prime time to jump on board and give your students something that fills a gap, supports them, it helps their family. And again, it will only guide them to make great decisions for their middle schools and for their high schools and for their careers.
Janae and Jennifer, real quick, this is a program, it's not just for those partners out there and employers out there. It's not just a one and done event. It's not just simply a career fair, which I know you've taken part in a number of times in the past. This is an immersive experience for these kids. This is taking part in this event, and then JA actually helping to mentor these kids who attend and develop a career pathway, like their interests along the way. So they don't just attend this event and then they're forgotten about, or we lose touch with them. We're staying in contact with them and help answer questions, pursue their interests. And Jennifer, real quick, provide the simple math. I mean, this is the 3rd year of the program, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So year 1, we were at rough numbers.
3,000 kids.
Year 2, we were at
8,000.
And so this year in a virtual environment, we're looking at, even more than that.
Doubling it. Mm-hmm.
Doubling it. Yes, no, and it's definitely, it fills a gap. As Jonay knows all too well, many school systems offer career exploration hands-on, and really being able to fill a void there and help school systems and really help even parents and families and caregivers have the opportunity to help and talk with their young people about what the future holds as they're thinking about high school course selection, as they're thinking about post-high school. It really is an opportunity in a virtual environment. So if you imagine this virtual conference center, students walking through that, being able to visit companies, see videos from those companies. We will also be having live webinars, some Q&A with students so they can explore different high demand careers in the state. And certainly, we think it's really, really important to make sure that we're connecting at all levels, not only from our partners with Department of Labor, Governor's Workforce Development Board, Commerce, obviously University System of Maryland. Thank you, Tom, to your group, but also our school systems that we're working with, and really helping and fill a gap that they have as something that would traditionally be hands-on that they're just not able to do this year. But as Jonay has shared, it really is something that we would not have really probably put a lot of energy into from a COVID, but with COVID, we're able to expand, but what it's providing us is a new opportunity for expansion that we never thought was possible. So it's really something that we see that will live on as well. Jayshree.
Yeah, I had a quick thought to add. So obviously,
Yeah,
all of you
please.
guys are discussing a program that directly affects students, and objectively speaking, because I didn't hear about these other programs until today, I only knew about Rising Women. So I wanted to give my objective thoughts since I do have that student perspective, having been in a school and still am. So one thing that I will say is at school, there's little financial literacy education. We have a lot of different classes that we can take, but there's not many programs for us to actually learn these essential skills that we're going to need in order to succeed in life. Like, how do we do our taxes? How do we manage a budget? All these important things that are being covered by this 3DE program and could be used to, as many of you guys are saying, bridge the gap in learning for us, since we don't get this content elsewhere. And the other thing I wanted to say is the fact that this program is so hands-on and case study based is a huge plus, and it definitely makes it more engaging to a student. I've been in all too many classes where a teacher just kind of puts up a PowerPoint and lectures about the subject material. And having participated in the Rising Women program, that was far from that. Even though, like I said earlier, I thought that there'd be a lot of structure, a lot of guidance, and then we'd just be following the steps. It was the exact opposite. From day one, it was just a space for the mentor to facilitate an open conversation. And it was up to us to further that conversation and really put in our thoughts and develop our own ideas. So I think the prospect of this program is really exciting to fill in gaps in learning that don't exist elsewhere, and to also give students an opportunity to, really cultivate their own skills and get the exposure and experience they're going to need for success in college, career, and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayshree. I think you really summarize it extremely well. I think what junior achievement is all about, which is that hands-on learning and really giving kids that opportunity to try it on, to see what it's like, to have successes, but also have failures, and how do you work through those failures and develop some of those core competencies that so many of future employers, to your point, really the financial management skills, decision-making skills that you really do need for continuing life. And so, we're just thankful to all of our partners that allow us to do what we do and love to do every day as the JA team, and really help students find their success. And so, we really appreciate so many of you joining us today to listen a little bit about what's happened since COVID hit and beyond. And we're just so thankful for all that you do. You hope you will definitely reach out. We will be following up with all participants from the call today And we would love to have you involved, continue your involvement, help us really continue to move the mission forward now and in the future. So with that, Katie, I don't know if there's any other questions or any of our panelists have anything else to share to close out the afternoon.
We do have one more question that I'm going to pose to the team. Is there a part of JA that helps guide students to look at technical skill jobs versus point to college? And I'm going to leave it to Jen because I know she's ready to go on this one.